español, otros verbos tienen formas también, como el verbo ser, yo soy. En español tenemos la forma de yo del verbo estudiar. Por ejemplo, aquí en esta, imagen, dice, la artista dibuja, ¿no? La artista dibuja. Recuerden que J en español es como H en inglés. Dibuja, dibuja, ¿no? Porque es lo que está haciendo. ¿Entienden? La artista o el artista dibuja. Y tú, ¿no? Tú, ¿cómo se dice tú en inglés? You, ¿dibujas? ¿Sí o no? Miren, chicos, dibujas. What's changed? Are we still talking about the same idea? What are we talking about? What activity? Drawing. We're still talking about drawing. But now the question or the statement or what have you isn't about the artist. The question is for you. What's this question asking? Do you draw? Do you draw? So in Spanish, notice, do you draw? A 3-word question in English is only 1 word in Spanish, dibujas, right? And we know it's a question, why? The question marks, the punctuation. So it seems a little irrelevant right here to have this upside down question mark, but we need that because in Spanish, we don't have the idea or the concept of do you. That's what the upside down question mark is. When we're reading something, we know it's a question. And then when we're saying it, we can tell by the intonation. Dibujas is a question versus dibujas, a statement. ¿Entienden la diferencia? So when I change the intonation of my voice, dibujas, you know I'm asking you, do you draw? But if I'm like, tú dibujas, and I'm telling you, you draw, ¿no? Okay, regresando a las formas del verbo. Entonces, y tú dibujas, ¿no? Sí, yo dibujo, pero no muy bien, ¿no? Esta es mi imagen, mi dibujo. Yo dibujo. So now I'm not talking about the artist drawing or you drawing. Now I'm expressing what? I draw. Exactly. Yo. Yo is I. And therefore our ending is O. We change our ending from dibujar to dibujo. So you know who is the one talking about drawing. Otro verbo. Por ejemplo, los estudiantes. Ellos. ¿No? ¿Cómo se dice ellos? They. And I'm just replacing los estudiantes, a specific noun, with a pronoun. Ellos. They. Ellos preparan una presentación para la clase de historia. Preparan. So I'm saying what? They what? Prepare. Right. Plural. No? Preparan. So ser plural es son. Y preparar plural es preparan. Tenemos la N. Y tú preparas presentaciones, ¿no? Ahora el verbo es preparas, ¿no? What am I asking here? Do you prepare? No? Preparas. ¿Preparas presentaciones? Sí. Yo soy profesora, entonces yo preparo una presentación de PowerPoint para todas mis clases, ¿no? Yo preparo. So what do you notice is happening here? Dibujo, preparo. Yeah, we know that if we're talking about something that I do, yo, my verb ending changes to what? Oh, right, exactly. So ser was diferente. Ser es irregular. You have soy, eres, es, somos, soy, son, and that's the verb ser. Pero todos los verbos en la página 38, if I want to say I dance, I would say what? Yo bailo, no? Or I work. Yo trabajo, no? En español, las formas del verbo indican quién hace la acción. Otro ejemplo, el profesor de matemáticas, ¿qué hace? Él explica los números en clase. Explica, ¿no? El profesor de matemáticas, usamos él, explica. ¿Cómo se dice él explica? He explains. No, él explica. Y cuidado. Because lots of times, especially since in chapter 1 we were talking about gender, and I would say like, yo soy profesora, por ejemplo, verbs don't have gender. So no matter who's talking, if they're speaking in first person yo, whether it's Angela, Katie, Alexa, Mignon, whoever it is, even though they're a girl, their verb, when they're talking in first person singular about themselves, is going to end in what letter? When they say yo, yo dibujo, yo presento, yo preparo, yo explico. No matter who's talking, if they're speaking in first person, gender doesn't apply to verbs whatsoever. And so if Matt is explaining something to Kyle, or Clark is explaining something to Keaton, they're going to use the verbs. When we talk about what they're doing, he's doing, explica. Even though they're guys, I use explica because verbs don't have gender. ¿Entienden? That's a common error, very common mistake that people do, and they accidentally overgeneralize gender with verbs. But there is no gender in verbs. It's just singular or plural, but not masculine or feminine. Y tú, explicas los números. No, porque soy profesora de español. Yo soy terrible en la clase de español. Oh, matemáticas no me gustan para nada. No explico, okay? And because of this, these endings, because o can only mean yo, and tú can only mean us, we don't even really need y tú or yo. Because the verb indicates, like soy is so clearly yo, eres is so clearly tú, es is so clearly tú, and o is so clearly yo. Okay, otro ejemplo, la familia. Okay, la familia es singular, the family, but now I'm talking about them as a group. Ellos viajan a Puerto Rico. They what? Travel, plural, no, tercera persona, plural, viaja. Y tú viajas, sí. Bueno, yo viajo, pero muchas veces con mi familia, entonces mi familia y yo, plural, pero primera persona, viajamos. Nosotros, en la clase de español, hablamos español. Now, amos, when you hear amos, you know you're referring to an activity that who does? We, exactly. Hablamos español. No hablamos inglés. Hablamos español en la clase de español. Okay, so this is something muy diferente de inglés, but if you've ever taken French before, or Italian, or Portuguese, or any language that falls under Romance languages, they all function like this. They have two parts of a verb. We have the stem, which is basically the vocabulary. Okay? And then the ending is what changes based on who is doing the action. So if I take the verb viajar, one of the verbs from page 38, viajar, por ejemplo, okay? That's the infinitive form of the verb. That just means to travel, to talk, to study. But if I take to travel, but I want to indicate who is traveling, I simply take the ending off. These are called AR verbs because why? Because they all end in AR. So rhyming and rapping in Spanish is really easy because everything rhymes. All of these verbs end in AR. You simply take off the ending to indicate who's doing the action. Yo viajo, tú viajas, ¿a dónde viajas? Or nosotros viajamos durante fall break, sí or no? So we change the ending to indicate who, but the stem of the verb doesn't change, and that's the vocab part. That's what tells us what's going on. ¿Entienden? So, para estudiar, necesitan estudiar las formas de los verbos. Okay, tú dibujas. So what's the stem of tú dibujas? Right, it's kind of hard. You might have to spell it out in English, which is fine because we're just learning this. D-I-B-U-J. This part is our stem. So no matter who's doing the action, this does not change. And our ending is what? As, no? As. Or por ejemplo, ellos preparan. What's the stem? Prepar. Careful with this one, especially on the test and the homework, because it's preparar. It ends in AR. So a common error would be to leave some of it out or repeat too much. So it's very advantageous on both the homework and the test, even the final exam, to first write out your stem and then go back through and put on your endings, which is what? On. Perfecto. And even if I don't have ellos here, and when I hear preparan and I have this picture, we know I'm referring to them. It's third person plural. Okay, él explica. Our stem is what? Explique. No? And the ending is no? And notice, no gender with verbs. Él explica. Es correcto. Mi familia y yo viajamos. Stem is what? V-I-A-J. And the ending is amos. No? Nosotros. Amos. So, necesitan memorizar las formas. O, para yo, amos para nosotros. So we have our singular and plural forms just like the verbs there. So the left-hand side on your paper are obviously singular. The right side are the plural forms. Vosotros, you don't need to know for the test, but we always include it. Habláis español, if I was from Spain and I was your professor, which you could have a professor in the spring. That's from Spain. Habláis español, en la clase de español. So you have singular and plural forms. And chicos, I mentioned Quizlet at the beginning of this. Quizlet for vocab. To learn these verbs on page 38, definitely do that. But also, on Quizlet, you could have, I'm sure somebody's already created this. You don't even have to create the flashcards. I'm sure if you just put in practice with present tense AR verb endings in Spanish, you will find a link to somebody who's put this on one side and this on the other. To us. It'll take you maybe 5 minutes to memorize, and then you're good to go. It's a great resource for nailing these down because you're responsible for carrying these with you in 101, 102, 201, 202. You need to know these. It's non-negotiable, and you're responsible for knowing these in December, in April, etc. Okay, so now let's figure out who's doing the action. If you just see dibujas, which you will, because it's not necessary to write the subject pronoun here, you can identify who the subject is. Who's the subject here? You, tú, no? Tú dibujas. Why? How do you know that? Yes. ¿Y cómo se dice tú dibujas in English? You draw, no? But what if I do it like this? Do you draw? ¿Dibujas? Muy bien. Okay, ¿preparan? They, muy bien. Or en español? Ellos, excelente. ¿Explica? Yeah, él, ella, or usted. No está claro. So es muy necesario indicar el sujeto. So those third person forms at the bottom, ustedes, ellos, ellas, we do need a subject pronoun. Yo, no es necesario, because it's o. It can't be anyone else but yo. Same with amos. But él, ella, usted, ustedes, ellos, ellas, es muy necesario indicar, like Paco y Juan, or ustedes, no sé. But remember, usted and tú mean the same thing, but their endings are different. Okay? Dibujas versus usted. Viajamos. ¿Quién es el sujeto? We en español. Nosotros, no nosotros. Mi familia y yo. Yo present. Okay, no vamos